Hi, everybody, and welcome to Fort Recovery here. A look at the MAC school here on the Wabash Mutual Telephone Company Pigskin Preview for 2013. Andy Lynch and Chris Parks joining you with Brett Niekamp and also Kyle Timmerman, one of 5 seniors we'll talk to today with the Fort Recovery Indians. A season ago, 3-7 coach in 2012. Offense good and bad at some points last year. Kind of reflect on last season and maybe some of the positives you can take into 2013 going forward with your team.
Well, I think in general, offensively, we were a pretty physical team. We were pretty one-sided in that we had success running the ball. We weren't as good passing. I think for us to be really effective offensively, we have to have balance, and that doesn't mean we have to be 50-50, but we have to be able to do either thing because good defenses are going to take away what they think you're good at, and you have to be able to do the other thing enough to keep them honest.
You were physical, obviously, because of Mason Evers, 1,313 yards, 14 touchdowns on the ground, another 754 through the air. How do you replace a guy like that? Is it a quarterback battle, or do you have someone you have kind of pinned to start?
We have two kids right now competing for that spot, junior Mitch Stammen and sophomore Darian Sheffer. And they're both getting a lot of reps, and we're trying to see who can do the best job there. But we're not asking either of those guys to do what we asked Mason to do. Hopefully we can support in the passing game, have receivers that can make plays. Hopefully we can run the ball well with our running back and block well with our line so that we can put those guys in a position where they can be successful.
Kyle, what's the state of the backfield for you guys? What's it looking like with you and maybe some of the other backs, and how's that shaping up so far through camp?
I think it's looking good. We're out here getting our reps in, getting everything down right now, and we're going to be running behind a pretty big line this year, strong line, so I think it's going to be pretty good this year.
Kyle, how did you see the line really progress last year with the different running style, a different attack, and now they're preparing for this new attack this year?
Our line, we got a lot more experience this year. We got a bunch of people coming back and playing, and we've been hitting the weight room hard, and they've all been getting stronger and just getting better and becoming better players.
Coach, you guys dropped down to Division 7 with the new added division. Help or hurt you at all, or do you think things kind of stay the same even though you bumped down a division?
Well, it all depends on how many games we can win. So
true.
That's always
factor,
the determining factor. So, I'm not real worried about that until it matters for us, and hopefully we can be good enough this year to make it matter.
Coach, take us through the defense. How are the returners looking there? Same schemes as we've seen in the past?
Yeah, pretty much the same. We play a 4-man front and then different coverages and stuff behind it. But we return a lot of kids. I think we really had 2 true starters on defense last year who were seniors. Okay. And Mason played some back there when we needed him to at safety. So we have a lot of guys who played a lot as sophomores on that defense. I think there's 5 or 6 of them. Oh, wow. And they're all back. Okay. So it looks I'm pretty excited about it.
Cautiously optimistic. You're trying to not project too much.
In this league, you're always cautiously optimistic.
That's a good way to put it.
Certainly is. Kyle, let's flip gears and talk a little bit about the defenses, what Andy brought up. Do you think that'll be more of a strength for this year's team as you guys go forward?
Yeah, I think we'll be able to play some good defense. I mean, we got a lot of starters coming back, and we got a pretty strong defense, and I think it's going to be pretty good this year.
Coach, if you look at scores from last year, you took some good things from your defense, I'm sure, only allowing 14 points to St. Henry, 28 to Minster and St. John. Some pretty good offenses there. So it's got to be encouraging that you're building upon that. You took some steps last year that were in the right direction.
Yeah, I think we did. Even the games that we won earlier in the year, we gave up a lot of points. Mainly because we had a lot of guys that were really inexperienced and they were still learning how to do everything. And the 2 games that you just mentioned were at the end of the year against very strong teams. Right. So I think we were competing better, and hopefully we can continue that.
Yeah. Coach, talk a little bit about your numbers this year. You had mentioned about 47 kids so far through varsity and JV. Is those numbers encouraging for you, or would you like to see even more kids come out for the team?
Well, you always want to encourage participation, but also you got to have guys that are bought in, that are going to do the weightlifting and everything all year long. People always ask about numbers. How many guys do you got? Do you got 70 guys?
I know we do.
I would much rather they ask me how many good players I have, because that's the determining factor. If you got 18, 20, 25 good players, then you only need 30 altogether, really. So out of those 47 guys, we got a very high percentage that work out all the time, that are really bought in. So I'm really excited about that.
Who are some of the guys that you're really going to lean on to lead this team? Some guys that stick out that maybe have been putting in that extra work during the offseason?
Well, you're going to talk to 5 of them.
Yep.
You're going to talk to Kyle and some other seniors that I think have done a good job leadership-wise. Some juniors that are stepping up pretty well are Mitchell Stammen, who's fighting for that quarterback spot, and he plays safety for us, and he's a leader back there too. And Evan Shane, I think, has been a good leader also in terms of work ethic and doing things throughout the summer that he needs to.
Kyle, being one of the seniors we're going to talk to on this show, what have you guys done as a senior class to get ready for this season and maybe even help out some of the underclassmen as they prepare for another one of their camps?
Well, we're just out here teaching all the little kids all we know, passing down our knowledge down to them, and been lifting weights in the off season, just trying to get ready for the season.
Is there something individually you take from maybe some upperclassmen? Maybe is there someone who graduated that maybe you look up to and maybe have taken words of wisdom from and advice that played through the program?
I think a great leader we used to have in the past was Ryan Shane. If we remember him, he was not the biggest guy out there, but he knew how to lead the team, and he would do what he could do. That was just a great guy for the team.
Kyle, you got the shoulder pads on today. The rest of the gear will come later in the week. Feels like football now, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's starting to feel like real football. We can get out here and start hitting a little bit.
Coach, do you see a difference in the attitude once the pads do start coming on, a little more energy?
I have a lot more energy once we put shoulder pads on. I get so sick of being in helmets for all those summer days and then those 2 days at the beginning. So this is always – I'm always excited the first day we can put shoulder pads on, and it really looks like football that we're practicing out here.
Looking forward, Coach, to obviously the opening game of the regular season. You have a couple scrimmages as well, too, coming up. Who do you guys scrimmage, and what do you look forward to most with the scrimmages that you have before you start the regular season?
We go to Union City on the 16th, and that one I'm not real familiar with them. I know that they've had pretty solid records the last few years, so we're hoping that we can have a good back and forth with those guys. Then we have Fort Laramie coming here the following Friday, and they've had a solid team for the last few years. We've scrimmaged them the last 2 or 3 years, so they'll be a really good look for us, a really good test in terms of they're a physical team running the ball. I know they have a running back this year who's a pretty big, strong kid. So we're excited to see them, and then hopefully we perform well and keep improving each week going into the season.
You start against Edgerton and Waynesfield Goshen. You've had some good starts the past few years. Just how important is that again to get going on the right foot?
Well, it's important because if you look at the postseason picture and just the league in general, those pre-league games are really important point-wise for everybody.
Sure.
And
the MAC roots for the MAC those nights.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
And then it's really, really important to make sure that we, get a fast start for those games, but then develop and progress throughout the year.
Right.
Because it just gets harder and harder the further down the schedule you go. So we got to be better week 9 and 10 than we are in week 1.
Right. Yeah, certainly you got to get better as the season goes on. Kyle, your favorite part of playing in the MAC and knowing each week you got to bring it. What's that like every week?
I think it's a great league to be in because every week it's a different challenge. And there's a lot of good teams in here, but you just got to look at that as a good thing. As a challenge is to get better as a team.
More at the Fort Recovery Indians when we come back on this Wabash Mutual Telephone Company preview. A couple more seniors stopping by here in Mercer County.
Welcome back to Fort Recovery, everyone, on this Wabash Mutual Telephone Company Pigskin Preview. Looking at the Fort Recovery Indians, 2 players joining us now, Alex Wenning and Reese Gresham. Both guys playing a little bit on the line, and Alex will be playing tight end and linebacker. Let's start first off with you, Alex. How do you see the offense kind of meshing together here? I saw you guys running a little bit of drills here about 15, 20 minutes ago, and it seemed like things were pretty crisp and clean for the first day of pads. Can you kind of comment on that?
I think it's pretty solid overall. I mean, we're all pretty experienced. We know what we're doing. We've still got a little bit to learn, but overall, pretty good.
Alex, 118 tackles last year. Defense certainly a strength for you.
Yep.
How do you feel about this defense coming back?
We have a bunch of returning starters, and our line's pretty big this year. And overall, we know what we're doing, so we should have a pretty good season.
Reese, kind of talk a little bit about that line as Alex brought up. You guys seems like you have a lot of size up front, but on both sides of the ball. Do you think that'll be an advantage for you guys here in 2013?
I think it would help. I mean, most of us played last year on the line, so it should help.
Reese, having such a young team last year, how did that help you going into this season with all those sophomores, now juniors, getting a chance to play? Does comfort level seem even higher here this first week of 2 days?
Yeah, I think it helps just because we're all pretty much on the same level and we all know about the same, so I think it helps.
Alex, looking at your first early season games, Waynesfield and also Edgerton as well, two games you guys won last season. I'm sure it's important to get off to a good start here in camp and then get off to a good start in the regular season, I would imagine.
Yeah, we'll have to play hard. I mean, they're still pretty good teams, even though they're not in the MAC, but it'll be a good battle.
MAC football, you guys dropping down to Division 7. Do you talk a little more? Playoffs possibly for Fort Recovery, or you just kind of keep that on the down low right now?
I mean, we just have to play every game as hard as we can and just hope for the best, pretty much.
Reese, your favorite part of playing against the MAC, just how competitive is this league and how much does it make you strive to be a better football player?
It's a pretty competitive league. I mean, we all want to go far, and I mean, I know a lot of kids from all the other schools, so we got a lot more bragging rights than so.
Alex, take us through a little bit of what Coach Niecamp's expecting out of you guys here these first couple of days of camp, getting the pads on and stuff. Has his philosophy kind of stayed the same as he's coached you?
Yeah, just play as hard as you can and keep coaching the younger kids to show them how it's done, and good leadership pretty much.
I think that's important. The seniors really coaching up those younger guys and making them feel a part of the team. What's one or two ways that your seniors have been able to do that here over the summer, even into now 2-a-days?
We just keep pushing them to get better and teaching them what to do and just leading them forward pretty much.
Yeah.
Reese, kind of talk a little bit about what you guys did over the summer, how many 7-on-7s you guys participated in, and how busy was your guys' summer as you get ready for the season to start?
It was pretty busy. We came up and lifted 3 days a week, and we had one 7-on-7, and I think we did pretty well against it. At least we did on the line, and I think the receivers did pretty well too, so I think we'll be good.
Fort Recovery opening with Edgerton, a home game, and then on the road against Waynesfield. Goshen should be a great start to the season before they get into MAC play. And on the road in Anna. When we come back, 2 more Indians will stop by on this Wabash Mutual Telephone Company Pigskin Preview on WOSN.
One final look here at the Fort Recovery Indians on this Wabash Mutual Telephone Company Pigskin Preview for 2013. As you can see, Jacob Molenkamp here and Trent Dews. The guys have their pads on for the first day. Does it feel a little bit more real now with you guys putting the pads on, Jacob?
Yeah, it definitely does. Feels like we're actually playing football now.
Especially for the linemen. I mean, what do? You just stand there during drills and stuff. You're actually getting to crunch. Pretty special.
Yeah, it's better with the pads on instead of using the old pads. It's more realistic, more game-like.
Yeah.
Trent, any kind of budding rivalries between maybe some of you guys in the huddle and stuff, maybe going against the offensive and defensive lines? You guys kind of form, like, I don't know, just some hard hits, just trying to get things going here in practice?
Definitely. The guys, everybody's fighting for positions yet and showing what they can give, so going head on head now. It's really fun now.
47 guys in camp certainly helps those position battles. Is it nice to have that atmosphere of a lot of different guys from the different classes, Trent?
Yeah, there's a lot of rivalries between us, but at the same time we're out here having fun, pushing each other, trying to make everyone better.
Jacob, what's one thing you can take from summer with the 7-on-7 you guys did and conditioning? Is there something you feel like individually that you maybe have gotten stronger in as the season gets ready to start here?
I think just overall with the experience from last year and then working this summer, I can just tell that myself and everyone else is taking a big step forward.
Trent, I know you guys are out here sweating, you guys are doing drills. Is there a favorite drill or something that you guys do that you like that Coach does maybe towards the beginning or end of practice? Is there something that you guys like as a team?
The beginning of defensive days, we like to do some nice hitting drills with each other, push each other really hard, and that's probably the best.
Those pads going on, these guys like to go at each other.
They are ready to do that.
That's typical football, though.
Why not? We appreciate you for stopping by for this MAC Pigskin Preview. Fort Recovery ready to open the season against Edgerton, then Waynesfield, and then their MAC opener at Anna before they host Marion Local and go on the road to Parkway to end the start of their season. It's all been brought to you by Wabash Mutual Telephone Company. We thank them for their partnership, bringing you local sports here on the West Ohio Sports Network. For Joe Vernick and Chris Parks, my name's Andy Lynch. We'll see you next time here on WOSN.